Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on the IntellectualRadio.com/ iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman. We have a great show planned for you today, but first, the forecast from our IntellectualRadio.com Weather Center. Today, sunny, high 54 degrees. Tonight, cloudy, not so cold, low 46 degrees. Cloudy with a chance of on and off again showers and thunderstorms later towards the evening, high 60 degrees. Tomorrow night, on and off rain, low 48 degrees. Wednesday, partly sunny, high 54 degrees. Thursday, cloudy, high 53 degrees. And on Friday, cloudy, chilly. The Drive at 5 is also part of the new Monday night lineup, starting with a new show called Becoming Dateable at 12 p.m. The Great Entrepreneurs at 6 p.m. New Black Leaderships at 7 p.m. Dreammakers at 8 p.m. 9 p.m. Chronicles of Rom. And The Raw Check at 10 p.m. Also, The Drive at 5 is also part of the fabulous 5 at 5 only on radio.com/iHeart radio station. The Drive at 5 is sponsored by Joshua Flynn and Associates Insurance. Black people, get your insurance. Today, my guest is, can I say, taking the pageant industry to new heights with her commitment to the community and showcasing others to be a role model through action, not by what you see, but also what you hear. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to Sabina Hussein. You gotta see, you should know this by now.
Thank you, Roman. It's so amazing to be back.
Well, please give IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station an update since the last time you was on the Drive.
The last time I was here, I was with the children. So I'm really excited to be here to share what I've been up to individually. My children happen to be 2 national and international title holders through pageantry. Me being here last time was a lot of the logistical workings, me driving them here, making sure they arrived at their interview on time and that type of thing. So this time I'm on the other side of that platform, as a contestant. Before I was a pageant mom. Now I'm the actual contestant. I'm doing my own awareness and, education regarding pageantries.
That's it? That's all you've been doing?
No, actually, pretty quiet for the last 2-3 years. I'm busy adopting my child. I have an adopted baby, Camilla. The last time she was here, she was a queen, and we were doing pageantry, and we were, talking about our system. Now I am going for a national title, and that's actually my platform because it's something that her and I live on a day-to-day basis. She's my adopted baby. Adoption awareness is my platform, and that's what I've been up to, raising awareness and celebrating adoption.
You have been involved in pageantry for some time now, right?
Yes.
What motivated you to pursue pageantry contests? It's kind of like your daughter. Now it transitioned to the mother, but it used to be like it goes down to the daughter, then the daughter, not go backwards.
Go up, This way it's going up. But part of that is that as an adult, I have so much to say as a mom, as a title holder. I was the pageant mommy before, and then I took on what's called an ambassador title, which was someone who's not really ready to be a title holder, but I was able to represent my system, which is American Elegance Pageant. I was able to represent them and go out on appearances and spread awareness and promote that system under the ambassadorship. And then I got a little taste of the pageant bug where I entered an optional competition, which was a runway modeling. And I actually ended up winning. And it was so exhilarating to be on the stage. And it actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. So now this is the most logical next step. I'm a state Illinois queen right now, and I will be competing in 3 short days in Elk Grove at Holiday Inn. And I will be competing. So it's just been a natural progression, like you said. And, normally it doesn't go up. Normally it goes down from the mom to the kids, but this time my children have just absolutely inspired me, saying, "Go, mom, you can do it," and that's just pretty much how I got
here. When you say that queen pageantry, it just reminds me of that scene from Coming to America. She's your queen to be.
Aww.
You remember that?
Yes, they sang the song, She's Your Queen to Be.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you have been involved in this for a minute now. So, how you incorporate you're a full-time mom,
Yeah.
you're a pageant,
Yes.
you have a full-time job.
Uh-huh.
How you incorporate this all into one?
You know what, Roman? I did not think about it. I did not know how I was going to do it. We just took the bull by the horn and I ran with it. Pageantry and being a title holder, that's the difference between a queen and a title holder. Pageantry is a full-time job. I am promoting my system, letting them know all the amazing things that American Elegance has to offer. I am also a queen. I'm a working queen. I roll up my sleeves. I get out there. It's not all crowns and gowns. We're out here working. So definitely is prioritization. We're really schedule intense. We work off of a calendar. We have calendar events, and you kind of get out ahead of things. So to go back to what you're saying, it is a job. It is a commitment. So right now, I am a state Illinois queen, and I am campaigning. I am actually going to go and compete, and hopefully, I can put on a national title and become a national title holder to take this thing from a state level, go across state lines, which I have already done, reaching out to other women in other states, people that I think that's amazing for American Elegance system. I say, hey, you should come over and try this and let the world know, what all you're doing for children in your state, in the state of Alabama. That's where my young lady is. So it's a full-time job, and we have to incorporate it, and it's a commitment, and you just have to adhere to that commitment.
So how you balance that? I know you have to adhere to the commitment, but you're a full-time mom and you're an adopted mom.
Yeah.
And you community service.
Yeah.
It's like, where is the time? How you said you mentioned schedule.
Yeah.
But you also crisscross the state of Illinois. So how does that happen?
I understand how one can work. And then if you see me, you follow me, I'm everywhere pretty much. And that just goes to say I have a passion for pageantry and my job, which is payroll. And when you have a love of something, you just make it happen. You get up every day a little bit earlier, and you kind of just like move things around like a puzzle. You kind of make it fit, and it basically goes by priorities. We know we have appearances and events ahead of time. The children have things going on at school. You have household responsibilities, so you kind of just incorporate it. When you have a passion for something, we just make it work. You just prioritize and stick with your schedule.
Now, some people, they will look at you. They will probably consider you a millennial mom, right?
Yes.
But in reality, are you a millennial mom?
Actually, I am not. I'm very, very old school. I love my face-to-face relationships. I run my household on a very old school, ritual. I try to instill like old school guidelines into my children. In terms of millennial, I do work. I do have a full-time job, but I try to keep everything basic and standard, and that way, I think simple is better. We just simplify things as much as we can.
Well, some people look at millennial women as fast, disobedient, lack of discipline, and lack of respect towards one another, especially towards Black men. Why do you think people are thinking negative towards millennial Black women? This question could come up.
Of course, yeah.
How you can turn around the thinking and think positive. If I'm looking at a Black woman, you're a queen. The image out there that's totally bad, totally negative against millennial women.
Yes.
So you're fighting against that image.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
What I can tell you, Roman, is that I firmly believe that pageantry teaches you disciplines. We have guidelines, and we have certain standards and expectations that we abide by. As far as them looking at women of color in a different way, women of color have many barriers to break down. There's not a lot of successful women of color in pageantry throughout the years. Most recently, there's been some prestigious titles that's been pulled down by African American women. But I just think it goes to getting past that stereotype. Times are changing. We are changing. To look at me and say, oh, she's hostile, she's confrontational. I just say cross that boundary and talk to me, say hello, get to know me. Sometimes crowns can be intimidating, and that's why I am a queen, because I like to make myself approachable. And if I see someone who's kind of like not, coming toward me, I extend a welcome. You want to be warm and welcome, and you don't want people to feel like they cannot approach you, especially if you are a queen, especially if you're wearing a crown. Those are stereotypes in itself, that queens are high maintenance and temperamental, and we're not. We're community people. We're basically servants to our community.
What about the social media and that image that portrays a whole different level of Black women? One of your platforms is to be elegant, nice, teach so-called, let's say, etiquette towards Black women, and also towards each other, like Black men as well. Yeah. How can you compete with the images that's out there, competing with the music, competing with social media, competing with all those negative image, and you want to
portray something else.
Portray something positive.
Of course, you don't compete with it. You simply just be true to yourself. As a woman of color, as an African American person, I stay true to myself, and being myself, a respectful person, a well-spoken person, a lot of those stereotypes and preconceived notions are going to be automatically broken down. They will look at me and say, "Oh no, Savia's not that person." So not all women of color are fast or temperamental or confrontational. When you put on a crown, that actually should set you aside, and it should give you a voice to go out and talk against these kinds of stereotypes and try to inform people and educate them.
Why did not seeing a more positive image such as yourself?
I'm sorry?
Why people are not seeing a positive image on social media, on television, such as yourself?
It's probably because of the circles that they go in. If they open their mindset and be a little bit more open-minded and it's their cluster of friends. Facebook is kind of like a branch of friends. So you show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. They pretty much like are replications of their circle. So if they're just operating in this small circle, then they're seldomly going to see anything outside of that circle. So I pride myself in, like I said, going across state lines. My children, we go to different states. We support pageant sisters. We instill that into our children. Good sportsmanship, and having a positive image. And breaking down stereotypes. If someone says something, to you, you just be optimistic and kind of turn it around. You don't fight fire with fire. Two wrongs don't make a right. So being a queen, you are held to a higher standard. So hopefully, as I acquire more friends, like I'm here today in the studio, like everywhere I go with this crown comes questions. So you are able to answer those questions. People will walk away saying, wow, I never knew beauty queens or pageant girls were that fun or down to earth. So, and that's what I love about my system. My system is all inclusive. We have women from all walks, shapes, and sizes. I represent the lady division, which is a division of 41 and up. I'm 44. So we have different divisions of, women. And being a lady, you have a little bit more responsibility. You would probably carry yourself a little bit different than a teen queen or the children. So that's why this journey is so amazing to me, because I get to experience pageantry from my own point of view.
You do so much for the community.
Yes.
Describe some of your community involvement.
Yes.
What you do on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, monthly basis.
So annually, I'll start annually because that's the broadest one. We do turkeys every year at our church. We try to feed 75 turkeys. That consists of Walmart or some distributors donating turkeys, and we distribute them in the church. We do blessing bags for the poor. We do clothing drives, like all the typical things. And we try to stay away from cliche things, but the truth about it is every little bit helps. If you donate a pair of shoes or a coat to someone in need, that's helping that person. So we volunteer our time. That is the first and foremost important in your time, helping out at a race or going to some of these packing centers. My children, they participate in a project called Cradles to Crayons, where they go and sort school supplies. So, it's the manpower, it's the bandwidth, it's the time that's the most valuable. So every weekend. I mean, I not only do I promote adoption awareness, there's mental illness. I just ran a 5K for the 401k, the COD, the College of DuPage food truck rally, a couple weeks back. So you and I, we both have a love for 5Ks. We love to run. So a lot of times
you love to run.
So a lot of times those
Don't look at me.
You do a lot of races. I do see you out there, but a lot of times those things are fundraising initiatives. So I get to stay fit, run the races, and it's all for a great cause as well. So it's a lifestyle. So when you say, what do you do on a daily basis? It's a lifestyle. You wake up and there's a need. You call a couple of queens and you guys jump into action and we go out there. There's like no dedicated thing or no one thing. We all have our platforms, but on a whole, if we get a call from a queen that needs help, it's all hands on deck. We need to go and help our sister queens.
You recently adopted.
Yes.
Last time,
Camilla. She was quite
Mm.
tiny when she was here.
Right.
She's here. She's tall now.
So how old is she now?
She's 12.
She's 12.
Yes.
Well, it's been that long.
Yeah, and we were in the middle of it, and she was kind of like enjoying pageants at the time. I've had her since she was 4. So it's been a journey, and that platform in itself is our lifestyle. That's what we live on a day-to-day basis.
So explain your platform on adoption. What led to the transition of, I'm not going to just speak about it, I'm going to be about it?
Yes.
What led to that?
When I decided to do a pageant with American Elegance, and the part of it is like, hey, what's going to be your platform? I did not want to do adoption awareness. Camille was the person that encouraged me to do it because she said that's our story and we get a chance to share our story. It wasn't like it was putting her in a fish tank where people would look at her and be like, oh, wow, she's adopted. As a matter of fact, 90% of our friends did not know that she was adopted because I keep her so near and dear to me. She's what I call my bonus baby. Anyone that knows Sabia Hussein knows that Camilla is my bonus baby because I feel adopted kids are additions. They're bonuses to the family. So it came about as a short-term thing. And then in the long run, it was decided that we were better off together, her and I. So throughout the years, it was a mutual thing, and it just worked out in our favor. And I want to tell you, Roman, that we've had help come from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west. Our pageant community have been invaluable when it comes to uplifting that little girl, assisting me, giving her rides. And because it was 2 of them in pageants, sometimes I had to be in 2 different places. My pageant community, sister queens, family, friends, it gives meaning to that term where it says it takes a village. So definitely I've had my help from the village with this kid. So right now is our time to celebrate, not, oh, you adopted her. It's not like a pity party for her. We have fun, her and I. We're buddies. We travel, we go out, we make appearances, and she's turning into quite the young lady. I'll have her come and visit you one day.
I'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
So do you wish that you want to do more for the community? You already have but there's something inside you that I can tell you want to do more. What is that more?
Roman, God is going to bless me to be a blessing to other people, and when He does, then there it goes. I mean, right now we're all tasked as human beings to do what we can, and I do that. And as a queen, we go above and beyond because that's just like what our mission is. However, if I was to come into a blessing, get a astronomical promotion, I will go out there and kind of set up, like warming centers for, needy people. I hate to call them poor, but, needy or underprivileged people. We do 75 turkeys a year. Maybe we'll do 750. Maybe we will go across national borders and build orphanages in Africa. But there's definitely always something to do. That's just written. That's what we're here and we're ordained as individuals to do, is to go out and help. So as long as God keeps blessing me, I will continue to be a blessing, whatever level, if it's 50K level or 100K, as He continued to take me up and build me up, I will continue to reach back and give back to my community.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years, I want to grow. I'm not sure. The last time I was in studio, I happen to be the senior consultant for on-point 5 years from now,
which is your sister,
which is my sister's payroll organization. She's kind of the face of it and a front runner, and I'm kind of the behind the scenes. I'm the senior consultant. I go out and I articulate all the contracts and kind of pull down the contracts. And I also, work some of them, but pretty much I'm the operations person, making sure the consultants get to where they need to be. We go out and we kind of solicit like funds, and we do fundraising and kind of to get funds, because we are a small business or a minority owned business, so we try to get grants and that type of thing to keep.
But a lot of people don't understand that there are Black owned and operated business that also competing with the corporate world.
Yes.
And you're one of those
We are one of those organizations, and I will tell you, and I will tell all of your listeners to stay tuned. My sister just landed like one of the.
You can give her a shout out.
I know she just landed one of the most lucrative like contracts. That's, like you said, that next level. It is going to take us to the next level. She's been really busy behind the scenes with myself, with pageantry and kind of getting me ready for the pageant and getting my sponsors and everything together. But actually, that was like one of the announcements that I was going to make, but I've been busy with the pageant. So again, a shout out to Najim Ali, the president and founder of On Point Payroll Solutions. You are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm happy to follow in your footsteps.
So if anybody want to reach out to them, they could do
She's really visible on Facebook, Najim Ali. Also, we have an On Point Payroll Solutions website, so I will put it up on my page as well, and they can click on it. I don't know all the particulars. I've had pageant brain for like the last 6 weeks, so I'm kind of like not as involved. However, we've been doing some big things like in the payroll community. We happen to be 2 women of color, minority-owned businesses, but yet we are in the forefront of the meetings, of the executive meetings. My sister just returned from an executive meeting where her and I were the 2 women, only women in the room, and we were the only 2 women of color. So I think that's a very, very big stride for her. I mean, it cannot go unnoticed. And I mean, I cannot tell her how proud of her that I am, and she of me, with the whole pageant thing. I mean, she's one of my number one supporters. My fiance, Reginald Blue, is my supporter. And then my children are inspiring me, saying, Mom, look what you did with us. You can do this. You can do this. Like, before I kept pulling away, like, no, and then I won Runway Diva. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can do this, this whole pageant thing. And to think about it, it's nothing new. I've been at this for a while. I've been living pageantry for the last 10 years. I've been supporting American Elegance pageant for the past 7 years. I know this pageant. It aligns with my mission. It aligns with what my goals are in my community, standards and expectations. So I feel that this system, because a lot of people ask me why American Elegance, because this is where my heart is. This is where my passion. And I love their core values, each and every one of them.
Let's say if a female, a Black female,
absolutely,
is listening to IntellectualRadio.com /iHeart radio station, and she's listening to this interview.
Yes.
What would you say to her? She has low self-esteem. She's down.
Yes.
But she's listening. Talk to them. What would you say to them to inspire them that you can... You had your obstacles.
Oh, yes, definitely.
But how can you relate those obstacles to their obstacles and inspire them to uplift them?
Roman, every woman is different. We're all fighting our own different and individual battles. What I would say to this young woman is follow your dreams. I don't know if you notice, sometimes I want to twist my words, so that's something that I struggle with. I want to say believe in yourself. Follow your dreams. What's most important is that you surround yourself with strong women, successful women. When you take yourself out of that crab in a bucket, you take yourself out of that bucket, you will begin to see life on a whole nother level. People will gravitate toward you because we love fresh minds, and we love, inquiring minds and people that we feel that we can help, because that's just in our makeup to nurture. But you need to take the first step. We don't know the environments that you're in. So we can't go and get you out of those environments. So you need to remove yourself out of those environments. Whatever is causing you to be down or to be distraught, you got to pick yourself up by your bootstrap, because we are women. And unfortunately, we don't get the fair share of the load. Sometimes our load is heavier, even though it's not supposed to be. In a perfect world, it wouldn't, but unfortunately it's not, so we have to be that role model and that trendsetter for our children. So, believe in yourself. You can do anything you put your mind to, because I hate to go here, but I have to tell people we are children of the Most High God. And so if with our Father who's guiding us, the Most Almighty, you can do it. I look at myself. I'm a woman of color, and I like to think that I'm very instrumental when it comes to pageants. I have lots of friends, and there's mutual respect levels. And, I have people that I never thought of that would be, running to aid me and help me. I did not get this far alone. I was able to bring my children to a certain point. But as far as myself, I have a tribe of women who are pushing me and making me believe in myself. Had it been the reverse, where I had negative women pulling me down, I wouldn't be here, So it goes to surrounding yourself with positive women. Once you do that, believe in yourself, because these women have poured into Sabia Hussein from the east, from the north, everywhere. It's go time now. So I can't take them on the stage with me. So I have to take everything that they've sowed into me, and hopefully I can make them all proud. And you guys know who you are. So
tell me something I don't know about Sabina.
Something that you don't know about Sabina. Oh gosh.
Not just me.
I know, but I'm pretty much an open book. What you see is what you get. I don't have any secrets. I'm so transparent. I'm a queen. I'm Nigerian.
Of all the questions that stumped you the most?
Yeah, because I think that I'm really, my Facebook page, I'm not saying that people should go there, but what comes up comes out. I'm Sabia Hussein in a very respectable manner. I'm proud of where I come from. I'm Nigerian, so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my community where I live, Naperville. Very proud of my children. Proud of my fiance. Very, very proud of Reginald Blue. We're going to get married next year.
Oh, and you're showing the rock. You can show the rock.
We're going to get married next year. He's one of the most supportive men. Again, surround yourself with successful and positive women, and also invest in a good man. Just make sure you screen your man and make sure he's a good man, because that has a lot to do with it as well. When you have these beaten down and trodden down women, 50% of it is probably a man behind it who's, holding them back or what have you. Even myself, I'm a one-time divorcee. Straighten up my crown here, because I'm a one-time divorcee, and at one point in time, I had to pick myself up by my bootstraps and go with Amina. And something that people may not know, it was because of my divorce that I got into pageantry, because my child was an only child, and the women, the pageant moms, are so protective, so nurturing, and that's kind of like how I fell into that group. So that's something about Sabia Hussein that people may not know, is that I stumbled across pageantry because I was a divorced mom, and my daughter did not have siblings at the time. She was the only child, and that was her way of going out and having extracurricular activities, participating in photography, and she loved the stage. Amina loves the stage.
How can people get a hold of you on IntellectualRadio.com? Who's listening?
I have a page, Miss Illinois page. So I am your Miss Illinois American Elegance Lady. If you look up Sabia Hussein, I'm a big Facebook person. So if you look up Sabia Hussein, if you also look up American Elegance Lady, you will see a picture of me in the blue jumpsuit taken by my wonderful photographer Rada of Dazzle Shots. I love her. So yeah. So I'm very responsive. I'm very active, and that was why our national director, she encouraged all of us to get a private page, a Queen's page, so that we can share all of our activities and our journey. So Maltese, I love you, and I'm so excited to be a part of this American Elegance family.
Okay. So don't be a stranger. You're going to come back with an
Me and
update.
Camilla's going to come visit you. Yes, we are. And hopefully when I see you again, I'll be a national title holder. That is my goal.
And you'll be married by then.
No, I'm coming back before next year.
Oh,
The wedding's
okay.
next year. I'm going to see you before then.
Oh, and got a surprise for you with your organization, our sister page called Black Products and Black Services.
Yes.
Tell your sister she can advertise there anytime, courtesy of Earl Winfrey.
Oh my gosh, she's listening. Najim, you hear that?
All
yes.
right. So when we come back on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station, are you ready to eat some food? Some black food. Well, the Black Foodies are talking about Black Foodies, the taste tour, next on the Drive at 5. We're back on the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station, sponsored by Joshua Flynn and Associates. My next guests are Black Foodies that encourage Black people or people around Chicago to dine at Black establishment. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to Black Foodies themselves, Coretta and Dino.
What's going on, Brother Roman?
Welcome to the Drive.
Brother, it's great to be here.
When I first heard Black Foodies, I was like, what's up with that? What it entails, what is all about. So before you get into that, could you give IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station a background of how you guys come about?
Absolutely. First of all, we are the Black Foodies. If you want to find us on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube. Thank you, dear.
Twitter, yes.
And the genesis of this was, first and foremost, we love the vacation and we love the festival hop. So my wife and myself, Miss Coretta, we're all over the country and we're all over Chicago just kicking it, having a great time. And when we were in Miami, we were looking for a Black-owned restaurant. We were having trouble finding it. We're like, what's up with this? All over Miami. We found a wonderful spot in South Beach. And we were like, you know what? We're going to make it our duty to let people know where to shop and spend their dollars when they go on vacation, when they go out of town. So if you go in Miami, Boston, wherever, you'll be able to know where to spend your money, because I'm a firm believer in the teachings of Dr. Claude Anderson, when we should be able to pool our dollars together and keep the money tight, keep it in the family, because it's being fiscally responsible to one another. So that's the genesis of the Black Foodies. And we just thought it our duty to let people know where to shop when it comes to restaurants.
Yep, about the same here. We have 5 children, and like you said, we do love to travel. No, sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we love to travel, and it was just, whenever we go somewhere, we're always searching for Black-owned restaurants to support. And that's just how it started. We just came back, home and said, okay, let's look for the best Black-owned restaurants out here in Chicago.
But what came up with the name Black Foodies? I mean, you was in Miami. I know it's the restaurant, but you know, a lot of people don't think of a concept. I'm going to let everybody know about Black establishment across the country. How you guys come up with Black Foodies?
Well, with us being African American and foodies, it was just a natural fit to just put the term together, the Black Foodies. And there are a lot of people doing this work all over the country. And we saw a niche for us here in Chicago. And we also saw a niche for us to put a production company together in which we can film and do what we do to let people see these restaurants. So the Black Foodies just came together. If you're talking about the title of what we do,
The title.
yeah, it just came about by us being some Black folks that like to get down in the kitchen and cook and eat and go to restaurants. And the name was just a natural fit, the Black Foodies.
So who brought it up first? Y'all just combined it together, or how it happened?
I think laying in bed one night we were kind of, so what should we call ourselves, honey? She said, boy, we gonna call ourselves the Black Foodies. Now go to sleep. I got to get up early.
That's how it happened.
Basically.
Yeah.
You was like, I'm tired of. I'm not wasting no time. I'm going to bed. That's it. And you was like, oh no, now it's time to get on
It
this.
sounds
right?
like a plan, and I've
Put it
been
in action.
absolutely, and I ended up coming up with something that was a intro promo on the video side, and I said, you know what? Look at this. She looked at it. She says, I like to put what we talked about into play.
Right.
And we actually had our very first interaction with a restaurant in West Allis, Wisconsin. It wasn't African American owned. It was a Peruvian restaurant. And boy, was the food good. But 95% of what we do, African American owned restaurants.
Did you ever imagine Black Foodies will take off the way it did?
Yes.
We did. Yeah.
How?
I would just say that, gosh, it's just dreaming of helping Black restaurants or just restaurants get their name out there. It was just something that we were destined to do. We've always been one to support our community. So, we just knew that, we had to get the word out about them. And everyone has been really welcoming, the restaurants that we approach. So, yeah.
And personally, I just feel that anything that any individual puts their mind to and put some effort behind it, that it can be accomplished. So this is something that my wife and myself, Miss Coretta, we've put a lot of energy and time behind it. And it's just grown exponentially. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done. And I'm very proud of these entrepreneurs that we are shining the light on as well.
There are some things that, a lot of people, what you putting your hands on your hips for?
I'm just being comfortable, bro. I'm just being comfortable.
You're like, what's next, Roman? Do you think people believe that only Black restaurants are good for soul food, just soul food, chicken and waffles? It's a perception out there.
There's a perception of that.
And they just think we're just soul food restaurants. In order to go to a soul food restaurant is Black owned.
Well, generally speaking, that's what I found. I haven't found too many white owned or other ethnic owned soul food restaurants. However, we have chefs that are doing so much more than just soul food. I mean, we have a Caribbean fusion establishment that we're going to on our tasting tour of the city of Chicago called 14 Parish over in the Motor Road district of Chicago. Phenomenal food, and love that young entrepreneur, Miss Fields. She's doing a great job over there. And just going to New Orleans, you have Creole, you have so many different distinct styles of food. And one of the latest restaurants that we did was an Ethiopian restaurant called Tesfa. Outstanding. So there's so much more than just greens and macaroni and cheese and fried chicken. Nothing wrong with it. But I did want to show people that there's a lot more going on in the community than just that.
Monette?
Yeah, that's basically it.
How you get out of that perception if people think we are just known for soul food and that's it, that's all? you're a black chef. Okay, I know you can cook greens. I know you can cook chicken. That's the only thing I can get out of you. Macaroni and cheese. That's it.
Hmm.
Maybe a neck bone sandwich. However, there's more to that. Can you explain? How can we get out of that perception that African Americans think soul food and get out of that concept that we're more than
Well,
just
it's really
that?
just getting outside of your comfort zone and doing the research yourself. Just it's so easy to go online and look up different restaurants. You can easily just punch into Google black owned restaurants. We just got back over doing the tour in St. Louis, and there was a brother down there. He had a restaurant called Turn Fine Dining at its finest, and it was absolutely spectacular. So there's nothing wrong with soul food. Let me say that first and foremost. Not ashamed of our food that we eat, but we do have a broader and wider palate. And we know that within the community. And I really don't really care to change anybody's perception about how we eat or what we eat. We know what we do. And we do eat more than just chitlins and black eyed peas. We all know that. There'll be a time we may have a taste for something. Prime example, Garifuna Flavor, absolutely spectacular Belizean restaurant. So those of you that only eat the soul food, break outside of your comfort zone and try something different. And we are melanated all over the world. And so there's many different styles of food that we make and that we consume.
Do you think black diners are harder on black establishments than they are with white or other nationalities when it comes to establishments? Do you find it hard when you go to restaurants? Do you find it that they're harder on black establishments versus white and other nationality restaurants?
What I'll say is this, then I'll pass the mic to my wife. First and foremost, 95% of the time when we go into these establishments, the service is excellent, the food is great, and this misnomer that black owned restaurants aren't up to par is a myth. And that's also part of what we're trying to do, dispel the myth of inferiority when it comes to restaurants, because it's really just not true. But what I do find, getting a little bit off the restaurants, and I found that in years past, we as a group have been very hard on our own. And I'll never deal with another black establishment again if you have one bad experience. And that's highly unfair because you will find a bad experience anywhere. I've never heard someone from our community state, if someone from another ethnicity did a bad job, well, I'm through with white folks. I'll never spend another dollar with them. That just doesn't happen. I've never heard it happen like that. We have to be less hard and stringent upon each other and be willing to accept there's a mistake sometimes. You just don't just throw away the whole community because somebody can't handle their business. I find that just foolish.
Yeah. You'll be surprised too that when we go to these restaurants, a lot of us are there. A lot of people that looks just like us. And that's, like my husband said, why we are doing the Black Foodies and vlogging it and writing about it, just to make everyone aware of the different types of food that's out there and different types of cuisine. So, yeah.
And $1 trillion goes through our hands collectively within the community. And I find it shameful that if someone would just always go to another ethnic restaurant when you have these wonderful entrepreneurs putting out a wonderful product. Let's keep the money in the family. Food is great and have a good time and be around with people that look like you. That's why I'm so grateful. I'm looking in the face of somebody that could be my cousin. You got waves, you got the goatee going, Stone Cold brother. Yeah, you got them waves going
Well, you
on,
must
bro.
probably be talking about Earl Winfrey over there.
Earl Winfrey. But it's a pleasure to be sitting here with some of my own and somebody that invited me on air and the sister Felicia that was the conduit for this. I love the cooperation that we have within our community. So a lot of times it's a misnomer that we don't work well together and we hate on each other. I don't buy it.
Want to add? Or you just second that emotion?
I second it.
Do you think Black Foodies becoming a show, like a showcase of Black-owned restaurants, like the Food Channel or the Food Network or something like that? It's taken off because a lot of people have have heard of you. And a lot of people, like last year, you guys were on Windy City Live. You guys were on several other stations, including WGN. So what are the next steps of Black Foodies?
Well, I just want to state for the record, we haven't been on Windy City Live.
Oh no,
No,
okay.
no that's not a problem. Val, if you're listening, sister, we here for you, baby.
Right.
But
But you were on WGN, right?
no, no,
No?
no, 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 no.
Okay, I
On Chat
misunderstood.
Daddy.
Chat Daddy, yes.
Right.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
we were with the Chat Daddy Art Sims. And what I will say is this: through the hard work of my wife and myself, we've built up a YouTube channel, and we've really created our own station. And we have a segment called Flavored Destinations, where we travel the country from New Orleans to Atlanta to Cuba and highlight restaurants with people that look like us. So if anybody's interested, go to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe. The Black Foodies, you can see the work that we do. And we put a quality product out there for people to see what we do, how we interact on film, and the way that we show and shine the spotlight and deliver something for these entrepreneurs out here.
How can, and I direct this to you,
Okay.
how can someone, like if I'm a restaurant owner, a black owned restaurant located on the west side,
Okay.
let's say located in Bronzeville or Broadview,
Mhm.
Austin community, how can I get you to come and highlight my restaurant?
Email us. Email us at theblackfoodies@gmail.com. Give us, let us know, like your restaurant. We'll come out. Black-owned restaurants will write up an article in the Chicago Defender. We'll vlog it. We'll share it on all the social media outlets. So.
And we also
Yeah.
write for Scene Chicago as well. And anybody out there within Roman's listening audience, if you have a restaurant enjoy, shoot us an email. Let us know. It doesn't have to be the entrepreneur themselves that let us know about the restaurant. You may be like, man, this place is dynamite. I just channel my JJ Walker. But, let us know. And we
You
will
got to do
definitely come
this
out.
when you do that.
Hey. But let us know if you have a restaurant that you think is outstanding and worthy of people to know about, theblackfoodies@gmail.com, and we're there for you.
Yes.
Now, explain the week. It's Black Foodies Week, right? Or Black Foodies Month? But is it a
It's
specialty?
always the Black Foodies Week, always the
always
Black Foodies Month.
Okay, always. So explain that to us.
Well, why I say it's always that,
Mhm.
because I like to implore any and everybody, at least twice a week, go to a restaurant if you eat out with somebody that looks like you. Make it your business, make it your duty to do these things, because all you're doing is creating a job for somebody that looks like yourself. One of the things that drives the American economics is small business. And we can't complain that our young people don't have jobs if we don't support entrepreneurs that are providing jobs. So it's bigger than just getting something good to eat. It's also about having jobs within our community as well.
I was kind of looking forward to something to show right here that I can put in my.
Miss Coretta, pull them chicken wings off the bottom of the purse.
See, I was even. Earl was about to have a fit. No food, no nothing. Next time.
Well,
We're
that's
gonna
why
have
you
you
want to
come.
come on our tour.
Absolutely.
You want me to serious come on?
I'm dead serious. November 3rd, come on out, get on the bus, hang out with the Black Foodies, and we're going to take people on a taste and tour of the city of Chicago. And the unique thing about this tour, most tours of the city of Chicago stays in the downtown area for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
We're going from the south side. We're going to be in South Shore. We're going to be out west. We're going to have photo ops in front of the Jordan statue. We're going to go by 44 Chicago residents for photo ops. We're going to be all over the city. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we're going to be letting you see and taste some of our favorite tastes in the city of Chicago.
So
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, without a
So
doubt.
the question, just in case people didn't hear, name 5 black best restaurants in Chicago.
Well, I have to start with the people that are on our tour. We'll start off with Surf's Up, which is in South Shore, and they have a Hennessy wing. Now, you know, black folks like to have that yak. You know, we love that cognac. So you can get your chicken wing on and your shrimp on and have your yak at the same time. It's similar to buffalo sauce, but she puts cognac and some other special seasonings in it, and it's absolutely off the chain. Number 2, Slab Barbecue, also in South Shore. If y'all like rib tips and they have a sauce that is absolutely the boss, Slab Barbecue as well. And I'm going to talk about something that's not exactly a restaurant, but there's a sister named Dr. Ramona Thomas, and she has a chocolate shop in Uptown. She's, I would say, one of the country's best chocolatiers. Her chocolates are absolutely spectacular. They're decadent, and she definitely knows what she's doing. The place is called My Chocolate Soul. She delivers all over the country, and go up to Uptown and get with sister because she definitely has it going on. Who else? I was
14 Parish.
14 Parish that I talked about just a little bit ago. Caribbean fusion at its finest, and the sister Miss Fields, wonderful entrepreneur. And if you come on our tasting tour, she's going to be having an elote as well as a conch soup for you to sample, either one of the two. And they are absolutely mouth-watering.
How can I get one more? He said one more.
Okay. Slice of Bronzeville.
You got a black man in Bronzeville making pizza.
Pizza, right.
Got a black man in Bronzeville making pizza. The place is called Slice of Bronzeville, and the brother's name is Patrick White, and they have a jerk chicken pizza that's absolutely phenomenal. A fusion of Italian and the Caribbean that comes together on a pie. Spectacular.
A jerk chicken pizza. I gotta try that.
You have to make your way on down there. It's really
I get
good.
A slice? I get a jerk out of it.
You're gonna jerk and eat and have a good old time. Trust me, it's off the chain.
One question, and then we have to wrap. You got to let people know how they can be a part of the tour, and let them know. So can you explain that? How they can get a part of the tour?
Yes. Go to Eventbrite. You'll get all the details on there under Taste and Tour Chicago with the Black Foodies.
Okay, one more time.
Sure. Go to eventbrite.com and type in Taste and Tour Chicago with the Black Foodies.
Come hang out with us. Come kick it. We're going to have a great time. And it is this Saturday, November 3rd. Bus is leaving at 10 a.m. from Homewood, Illinois at the Menards in the parking lot. Come on out, kick it with us, and we're going to do it and have a phenomenal time, guys.
Games, prizes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We're going to play a game of Chicago trivia.
Oh, I'm there. Well, I'm not going to be there, but I'll be there.
You're not going to be there.
No.
You just said you was going to come through.
Well, next time bring some food, then I'll.
Got you.
I'm just kidding.
I want some of those Hennessy wings.
Oh, you know what? Get me drunk off the Hennessy wings. Man, you'll have a different drive at 5.
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't be a stranger to the drive at 5. And as a special thank you, Earl has a thing called Black Products and Services. It's already on there on your tour. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
We'll hook you up. And whenever you blog a restaurant or something, feel free. We'll hook you up after the show. So people on Black Products and Black Services can check you guys out. That's going to do it for us on the Drive at 5 on Intellectual Radio. Thanks to Earl Winfrey, our executive producer. Behind the scenes is the one and only lovely, vivacious Wanda. And that's going to do it for us. You guys have a wonderful week.